In this video, we are going to be talking about the next winter storm, Enzo. And it's going to be a big storm as moisture from the Rocky Mountains is now surging from Canada and the Arctic air is in place. It's not even Arctic air, it's Siberian air. This originated from Siberia, and we have this stream of moisture right through here, and it's gonna be pretty wild. So we're gonna see freezing rain and snow, and all the way down into places like Corpus Christi as this winter storm moves off to the east into Florida. And let's look at the winter precipitation over winter. Let me catch my breath here. Overall winter storm impacts. There will be a huge major area, but that major area doesn't mean anything. Especially in the south. This is just because of the snow. This is just because of the precipitation that would be impacted. But this is in the south. They don't have that much snowplows down there to actually get all the snow out. So it's very detrimental to places like Louisiana. And it's like, you're over here in North Florida. Well, I'm only gonna get minor or even limited moderate impacts, so I'm safe. No, you're not. This means nothing. If you are in the limited, minor, or moderate category, you are going to see major to extreme impacts. Catastrophic impacts if not that. Moderate impacts will stay more across here, across the coast, in the Jacksonville area, and near the Georgia-Florida line, right in here. But the main threat for this side of it will be snow and some ice and sleet, but mostly snow. But northern Florida and southern Georgia, that's the ice threat. But the Panhandle of Florida will get some snow, but mostly some very heavy ice, up to a quarter of an inch is possible here. And it will be bad and devastating for these areas. It will cause major impacts across the north in Florida and southern Georgia. And let's continue as we go out in time. Let's look at the warnings. So, we have winter storm warnings extending from south of Corpus Christi, and extending all the way into central and southern Alabama. At the time of recording this, it's going to cause some major impacts, and the winter weather advisories are in central and southeastern Texas and some parts of Kansas and Oklahoma under that advisory, and some more winter storm watches extending into places like Jacksonville, Clay County, Duval County, Tallahassee. The list goes on, and it'll be devastating for these areas because they usually don't see any kind of winter weather. If they see any at all, even a little bit of ice. When I say a little bit of ice, I mean like 1/10 of an inch, 0.05 of an inch, 5/100ths of an inch. It's really bad. 5/100ths of an inch is just gonna cause problems. But they do have treatments here, but not much. They don't have those big trucks that they have up in here. Even some parts of Georgia, northern Georgia, and South Carolina have more snow plows than ice plows, but they're not even in the realm of this threat. Then also there is freeze warnings that are in effect. They're overlapping over the winter storm watches and winter storm warnings, but they are there because of this extreme cold, this Siberian air that is going to come down into the south after the storm. Numerous school closures have already been declared over Texas, Louisiana, and Alabama and Mississippi, and even some parts of Georgia have already canceled their schools. And northern Florida is still in the realm of possibilities, but they're thinking about closing some schools in here. So we'll be talking about that later into the video. And let's look out in time. So this is the warning on tomorrow at 6 a.m. Some snow showers, some rain showers will intensify during the day, and there is some sleet in through here, but it's only going to get worse. And eventually this low develops fully, and then we have this 3-layered cake. So we have our snow layer, we have our sleet layer, then we have our rain layer down there in the Gulf of Mexico. But here we go, all the way. You could see snow as far south as the beaches, and even some miles offshore, it will still have snow. It will still be snowing, and visibility will be dropping so low that it would resemble something from the Midwest, because up to 10 inches is possible. I wouldn't even be surprised if someone cracks a foot. Yeah, I would not be surprised if someone cracks a foot in Louisiana, which would be insane and very dangerous, especially for the South. It's dangerous for anyone, but especially for the South. And that snow and rain line is still way offshore, but here, look, this pink right in here, that's the beginning of the freezing rain that'll come before the snow in Tallahassee, but it's still going to be there, and soon this cold front then takes place as this elongated low, attracted by this elongated low, because of this cold Arctic air is also steering it to the east with the jet stream, which is gonna cause numerous explosions of weather. So on Wednesday it'll start. In North Florida, it'll start as rain, but as soon as 7 a.m., it turns into sleet and freezing rain. Some heavy sleet and wintry precipitation will be moving through. And there could be some snow on the backside. You see sleet, heavy snow. It's just a wintry mix. You could see flurries on the backside, though. Wouldn't rule out a 100th of an inch in spots. Wouldn't rule that out. But eventually, by the afternoon, by the late afternoon, it'll be moving away. But still, a snow shower or a flurry or two is probably going to be mixed in there, but you never know. This Arctic air would dip the freezing line all the way as far south as Gainesville, bringing ice to Gainesville, but mostly rain. And as we get into the overnight, this thing is completely moved away from Florida. But let's go back a bit and look at the Carolinas. The Carolinas will see snow primarily on the coast, but some, if you're farther south, like in Georgia and South Carolina, you will see most likely sleet and snow and maybe some freezing rain trickling in there. But flurries will be in there. Freezing rain will be in there, and sleet will definitely be in there. But as we get on the last leg of the storm, it turns back into flurries along the coast. But still, places like Jacksonville and even as far as North Gainesville has a chance of seeing a flurry that gets in there. But it's really hard to see if we'll get any measurable snow, but it's very unlikely we'll get over an inch of snow. Almost a 0% chance we'll even get over half an inch. Half an inch, we could get over half an inch, but it's pretty unlikely. Getting over 100th of an inch of snow would be the likeliest scenario, probably, but it's 50 to 60% chance, but still pretty unlikely for snow. Let's move on and let's look at the ice. These ice totals will be very bad. I mean, the GFS is overdoing it a bit. And when I say a bit, I mean a lot. Because it's showing an inch in some spots of ice, which is not viable. You see 0.1, 0.2. And this is more viable, but half an inch? No. I think a quarter of an inch is the highest max possible that is going to produce in this scenario. But look at these. Look. An inch of ice in Tallahassee in some parts of Perry. Not going to happen. Just going to tell you that. It's going to be mostly snow. But the ice threat will still be there for Tallahassee. And there will be some freezing rain, and as I said, there will be some freezing rain that will mix in with the snow. But places farther inland, you're missing out on the fun. Could just travel a few hundred miles to the east, and you could see a little bit of a flurry, but you still need to go a bit more east to get that real snow and the real wintry precipitation on the coast, which will be pretty and a big sight. That's why the people are calling this the once-in-a-generation storm, which it is. But let's talk about this. So, but the key message is patchy black ice Interstate 10 corridor southeast in Georgia this morning. Nightly inland freezes through the weekend, and there could be morning wind chills in the mid-teens to mid-20s, and cold weather advisory conditions. And let's do the winter storm watches Tuesday night through Wednesday afternoon. Because of the freezing rain, the high to medium chance for freezing rain, 50 to 80%. Waycross and through Waycross southward, northeast Florida Interstate 10 corridor, south and winter mix, medium chance for that. That's at 30 to 50% chance. And inland southeast Georgia, north of Waycross, will be impacted by that. Gale conditions will be through Tuesday night through Wednesday because it'll be gusty. Let's just go down. And black ice, patchy black ice is going to be possible. And drive with caution because bridges, overpasses, and ramps may be icy and freezing from temperatures and precipitation. Black ice is possible. Slick conditions on bridges, overpasses, secondary roads, sidewalks, and driveways. Don't be like this guy and start slipping. Don't be like this guy and drive. And let's go do the MLK Junior Day. And there will be they will continue to fall. Wind chills will be in the upper 70s, lower 30s, which will be dangerous. And the actual air temperatures will be in the mid 30s, which will still be very cold. And the wind is not going to help. And so the low temps in the wind chill forecast are largely different. There is a lot of 25s, 26, 24s, 27, 29, 32, just freezing. Sub-freezing temperatures will be freezing temperatures will be here, and they will most likely not drop below 32 degrees, but stay bundled up because some parts of Florida could see under 32 degrees. Just saying. And hard freezes and nightly freezes are going to happen because Saturday morning, look here, we're breaking records again. First time in Jacksonville under 32 degrees again. Usually when you're in Jacksonville, it never drops below 32 degrees. But since the Arctic air has dropped from Siberia, this air originated from Siberia, it's so potent that it has infiltrated the tropics. And places like Kingsley, like Gainesville, have dropped below freezing. But on the coast is a bit warmer, but not going to help much. This will still be on the freezing mark. And it'll be a hard freeze for the coast. And morning wind chills will be into the teens, into the 20s this week, as some big winds are gonna whip through the area and bring some very cold temps. And let's go for the winter storm watch. Increasing confidence of snow, freezing rain impacts across the Tuesday evening through midday Wednesday. Freezing rain and potential greatest along north of I-10 toward Homerville, Waycross, and Jesup. No snow potential greatest north of Waycross to Alamaha River. And this will start about 4 p.m. Tuesday afternoon and about 7 p.m. Tuesday evening for Northeast Florida. And get your emergency supply kits for homes and villages. Consider adjusting travel plans. Don't travel at all. And so, this is the ice potential. This is a 80% chance for ice that will be below a 100th of an inch, and it's very likely. Usually, yesterday it was only chance of freezing rain, a 10th of an inch and 100th of an inch, but now they've added this category of a quarter of an inch, which is going to be increasingly likely. So if you're in this category, right through here, major impacts, scattered power outages are possible, and the transportation will be very bad. No snow for Florida, at least not a 1 inch of snow. Again, places like Jacksonville, 2% chance. So no way anyone is going to get snow above 1 inch. But you could still get some snow, some dusting snow, but it's still measurable snow. So there will be some moderate impacts to transportation, and if you're in this potential for 3 inches of snow, it's going to be major impacts to transportation. Now we got to wrap this up though. But gale force winds will happen Tuesday night through Wednesday. Dangerous coastal hazards. Don't go to the ocean. Stay dry when waves are high. And please stay safe. Don't go outside unless you really, really need to. Now we're really behind, so I think we can just skip to the end right here. Let's just skip to the end of the video. And whoops. This is the graphic I made yesterday, so things might be a bit outdated, but watching the South snowstorm, Arctic air, and the school closures. So let's move on. And this is the temperature that needed to produce precip. This is a cold rain if it's above 34, but ice could still form around 30 degrees at somewhat freezing, and under 28 degrees is under about 29 degrees is sleet, but freezing, it'll be snow. Hard freeze, it'll be dry snow. And it'll be chilly on MLK Day, but no rain today. Today will be a chilly but icy tomorrow, and a mix on Wednesday. And as we go on Tuesday, it'll start as regular rain, but it'll continue to be freezing rain and showers as we go on. And sleet will be in the range as it starts out as rain, and then it goes to freezing rain, and then sleet or a mix is probably going to happen. And somewhere in between overnight is going to be snow. But this is the storm right now. Over here, gonna form, go across the south. But we really need to wrap this up now. So, yeah, this Arctic air is going to mix with this warm air, and it's going to cause a huge storm. Closures are pretty likely through Louisiana and most of the deep south. Now, wait a minute. Oh no. Wait a minute. And remember, this rain is just warm air all the way down. Ice is when the warm air is up in the high, but it doesn't have time to freeze, so it goes at the super cold state and freezes on the ground on contact. Sleet starts as snow, but then melts into ice pellets, which will accumulate on the ground as graupel. And snow, you know what snow is. It's pretty cold all the way down. And that's basically it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. But remember, don't be scared. Just stay prepared.